Good day, everyone. We are here to discuss about the arts in ancient Mediterranean world. First, let us define first what is the ancient arts. Ancient arts refers to the many types of arts produced by the advanced cultures of ancient societies with some form of writing, such as those of ancient Egypt, Greece, and Rome. The art of preterate societies is normally referred to as prehistorical art and is not covered here. Although some pre-Columbian culture developed writing during the centuries before the arrival of Europeans, on grounds of dating these are covered at pre-Columbian art and articles such as Maya art and Aztec art.
So, I will discuss about the ancient Egyptian arts. So, what is the ancient Egyptian arts? So, ancient Egyptian arts refers art produced in ancient Egyptian between the 31st century BC in the 4th century AD. It includes paintings, sculptures, drawings on papyrus, pens, jewelry, ivories, architecture, and other arts media. It is also very conservative that art style change very little over time. Much of the surviving arts comes from tombs and monuments, giving more insight into the Egyptians' beliefs of the afterlife. So there is a some examples of ancient Egyptian arts. So first, the Mask of Tutankhamun c. 1327 BC, gold glass and semi-precious stones, height 54 centimeter, 21 inches, Egyptian Museum. So the mask of Tutankhamun is a gold mask of the 18th dynasty, ancient Egyptian pharaoh Tutankhamun is discovered by Howard Carter in 1925 in the tomb KV62 in the Valley of Kings and is now housed in the Egyptian Museum. And and Cario. The second example is the Pyramid of Giza constructed between c. 2518 to 60 BC during the Old Kingdom period. Then next is the painting. So the painting is not all Egyptian reliefs were painted and less prestigious work in tombs, temples, and palace were merely painted on a flat stone surface were prepared by whitewash or if wrote a layer of coarse mud plaster with a smoother gesso layer above. Some chosen to withstand strong sunlight without fading. The medium used in painting remains unclear. Egg tempera and virus gums and resins have been suggested. It is clear that true fresco painted into a thin layer of wet plaster was not used. Instead, the paint was applied to dried plaster in what is called fresco a secco in Italian. So there is some examples of painting in ancient Egyptian relief arts. So the block from a relief depicting a battle 1427 to 1400 BC painted sandstone height 61.5 centimeter to 24.2 inch Metropolitan Museum of Arts of US. Then the second one is the fresco, which depicts the full Nebamoom's State Garden. C. 1350 BC painted plaster, height 14 centimeter, British Museum. So the next of the ancient Egyptian arts is the sculpture. Sculpture is the monumental sculpture of ancient Egypt's temples and tombs. Is well known, but the refined and delicate small works exist in much greater numbers. The Egyptians used the technique of sunk relief, which is best viewed in sunlight for the outlines and forms to be emphasized the shadows. The distinctive pose of standing statues facing forward with one foot in front of the other was helpful for the balance and strength of the piece. This singular pose was used early in the history of Egyptian arts and dwell into the Paleolithic Ptolemaic period. True seated statues were common as well. Then there is some examples of sculpture. So the first one is the Pharaoh Menkaura and Queen Nebti. Second, 2490, 2072 BC, gray walk, overall 142.2 times 57.1 times 52 centimeter. Then it it replaced into the Museum of Fine Arts, Boston, US. Then the second one is the both sides of the Narmer Palette. C. 3100 BC. Gray walk, height 63 centimeter from Herconpolis, Egypt, Egyptian Museum.
So, I will be discussing about the ancient Greek arts. First, let us define first what is ancient Greek arts. Ancient Greek arts stand out among that of other ancient cultures for its development of naturalistic but idealized depictions of the human body, in which largely nude male figures were generally the focus of innovation. The rate of stylistic development between about 750 and 300 BC was remarkable by ancient standards, and its surviving work is best seen in sculpture. There were important innovations in painting, which had to be essentially reconstructed due to the lack of original survivals of quality other than the distinct field of painted pottery. So let's take a look at the examples of ancient Greek arts. First, is the Heracles and Athena black figure side of belly amphora by Andokides painter c. 520/510 BC. So, the belly amphora in the Staticlis Antican Samuel Lundgen at Munich inventory number 2301 is one of the most famous works by the Andokides painter. The vase measures 53.5 centimeter and height is 22.5 centimeter in diameter. It dates to between 520 and 510 BC and was discovered at Bulci. It was acquired by Martin von Wagner, an agent of Ludwig I of Bavaria. As a bilingual vase, it is an important archaeological source for the transition from Attic black figure pottery to the red figure style. Bilingual vases are uncommon and ones that repeat the same subject in the two styles are vanishingly rare. The vase is therefore very often used to illustrate the differences between the two techniques. It is signed by the Pater Andokites, who probably made it. Some scholars assume that the black figure side was painted by the Lipside painter, while others suggest that he is identical with the Andokites painter. So, next example is the Hades abducting Persephone, 4th century BC wall painting in the small Macedonian royal tomb at Virginia. This particular painting, the abduction of Persephone, was found in Virginia, Macedonia in Philip II tomb. Philip II was king of Macedon from ca 359 to 336 BCE, and he was assassinated at the capital of Macedon, Agia. So let's talk about their painting. The Greeks seem to have valued painting above even sculpture, and by the Hellenistic period, the informed appreciation and even the practice of painting were components of the gentlemanly education. The act process was a literary form consisting of a description of a work art, and we have a considerable body of literature on Greek painting and painters, with further addition in Latin, though none of the treatises by artists that are mentioned have survived. Unfortunately, we have hardly any of the most prestigious sort of paintings on wood panel or in fresco that this literature was concerned with. So let's take a look on its examples. The left side picture was the ancient Macedonian paintings of armor, arms, and gear from the time of Lyson and Callicles in ancient Mysia. Modern day Lefkadia, Imathia, Central Macedonia, Greece, 2nd century BC. Then in the right picture was the a fresco showing Hades and Persephone riding in chariot from the time of Queen Eurydice the first of Macedon at Virginia, Greece, 4th century BC. Then, now let's talk about the sculpture of ancient Greek arts. Most Greek sculptures were painted in strong and bright colors. This is called polychromy. The paint was frequently limited to parts depicting clothing, hair, and so on, with the skin left in the natural color of the stone or bronze, but it could also cover sculptures in their totality. Female skin in marble tended to be uncolored, while male skin might be a light brown. The painting of Greek sculpture should not merely be seen as an enhancement of the sculpted form, but has the real characteristic of a distinct style of art. Then here is the sample of this. The, the left picture is about the Roman bronze reduction of Myron's Descobulus, 2nd century AD, Glyptotek, Munich, and the right one is the riders from the Parthenon frieze around 440 BC.
That's all. Thank you. If you have any questions about the
About
about our discussions for this topic, please comment down below.
That's all. Thank
That's
you.
all. Thank you.